Welcome. My name is Esper. I am here to provide tips and tricks for Star Trek Online. I don't plan on reinventing the wheel. If there are other YouTubers who have created better content, then I will actually direct you in their direction. But for the most part, I'm going to go over things that I have found personally that I've never seen anyone either talk about or never really go in depth on some things. I'm hoping to provide people who are new to the game with maybe something that they've never seen or they never knew existed. So I'm hoping that you enjoy my channel. I'm starting out today just by creating a character. This is the easiest part. It's also the hardest part because from what happens here determines what happens for the rest of your playtime. I'm starting this video just shortly after the release of the Age of Discovery. So we actually now have the Discovery era captains that we can create. So this will be my first one on this account. A big thing for people who've never played the game before and you're starting out. The biggest thing is you want at least one Federation character, either Discovery, the TOS Starfleet, or Starfleet. You want at least one Klingon character. You want at least one Romulan character. And the Dominion is optional. But it's highly recommended for the Starfleet, Klingon, and Romulan. You want at least one of each. The main reason for this is something simple. Cryptic gives away things all the time. And a lot of times they'll be giving away free ships. And most of those ships are bound to a particular account and a particular level. So if you don't have say a Klingon character and they're giving away Klingon ships, well, that does you no good. So plus just from aspects of just playing the game, you see things from the Starfleet side, then from the Klingon side you'll get a portion of the story, and then from the Romulan you'll get a portion of the story. So it's like a three-way looking at one part of the story. Eventually all the stories will converge into one storyline, but for the start off they're all different and they're all unique. So that's the first thing, is that eventually you'll want at least one of each, and at least up to level 50, because all ships in the game, that's the highest, that's the lowest level where you can fly any ship is level 50. The current level cap is 65, which is why I do not recommend playing a Dominion character to start the game off, because if you notice, they start at level 60. There's no tutorial, there's no how-to, so if you are not comfortable with the game and don't really know, I do not recommend a Dominion as a starting character. But today I'm going to create a Discovery character. I usually play females because they're females. I once saw a comic back in an older MMO, and it was very amusing, but they had three characters and they were going to go play a brand new game that just come out. Matter of fact, it was called City of Heroes, and they had just created their heroes and they were coming out, and of course two of them were guys and the third guy came out as a female, and they go, "You're a chick." He goes, "If I'm going to be staring at the booty of someone for hours, I want to at least look nice." So that's my rationale for that. As of right now for Discovery, the only options you have are human, Vulcan, and alien. There are reasons for choosing each one. There's one thing that they have removed from the game. There used to be, under the traits, it would tell what that particular race's impact was. For example, humans had both a space ability and a ground ability called leadership. Vulcans was only ground. Alien The nice thing about Alien, when you hit level, the max level in the game, you will have 9 traits, and these are some of the traits that you can choose. You can only have 9 space traits and 9 ground traits, unless you're alien, and then you get to choose a 10th trait. So it sort of maximizes the ability and gives you that one more slot at the cost of you're losing a species-specific advantage. And it could be an advantage, it could not. I'm also going to play a science character, mostly because I prefer science. Science are awesome on the ground, and they're pretty good in space. Engineering is also, they're about 50-50. I would say engineering is probably the balance of all of them, because they are just as effective in space as they are on ground. Tactical, of course, excels in space, and while not weak in ground, they are definitely weaker than engineering or science. So I just prefer science. I already have a concept in my head of what I want this character to look like, so, and I have already played this many times. I have over 40 characters across 3 accounts, actually. I have, my first account is a lifetime subscription. My second account is a free-to-play, but I did have some built up time on it, I think right at 400 days that I had collected on it through various times. And then my third account I created actually 2 years ago when they released the Agents of Yesterday, because I wanted to start off with a new character to find, or a new account to find out how hard is this for new players. And I found out not so much hard, but I was so used to so many things at that point, it's like, okay, this feels limiting to me. So I wound up making that one lifetime also. And of course, it's best to buy the lifetime subscription if you choose to do so when it is on sale. They put it on sale about three times per year. With a $100 discount, it's $200 US. Highly recommended, just for a lot of the bonuses and perks that you get. It is not required. It is possible. This is one of the very few games where you can play from beginning to end as a free-to-play player, never spending a single penny on the game, and get just as rewarding experience as someone who throws money at the game. There is no, oh, well, you have to buy this. There's no meta ships, basically. There's no meta characters. Some are better than others, yes, but there's nothing that, oh, you have to have this. That's the number one thing I see in the forums and on the Facebook pages and stuff. Oh, what's the best ship? What's the best this? There is no best, and it's constantly changing. For example, right now, as of the time of this video, I think the Disruptors from the Cardassians, the Spiral Wave, is the current top-end meta game. But you know what? It changes all the time. And one thing I do not recommend, don't chase the DPS. Do you want a certain level of DPS? Yes. But when you see these people who have 100,000 DPS, yeah, they're blowing up everything in sight in a couple of seconds. It's like, okay, I'm sure it's nice, but is it fun? I don't know. I know I have a certain level that I prefer, but that means nothing. But what I am going to create today is, again, I have a concept in my head. Trying to find what I want. Basically, I am going for, because this is a Federation only character, and Federation does not have Orions, and for some reason I like just the way the Orions look. I'm going for a Orion Vulcan hybrid. So let's see what I can do here. Clear out all the regular human ears pointed. One, two, three. Let's go with 2. I'll try and do this as quickly as possible. Let's see. Scroll down. Hairstyle, there we go. I prefer the long style, but I want it to be red. Okay. There are sliders for everything, depending on your preferences. Like one thing I do know when running, the hip size, if it's too low, it looks like they're tripping over their own feet. So I always will increase the size of the hips here so it's a little bit longer for when they're running. And also for the shoulders, just a little bit, for the same reason is the arms will look like they're in the legs when they're down. So that's the only thing I wish they had in the game was a movement where you could actually see them moving so you could see, hey, does this work or does this not work? Try and keep things about equal. And there we go. Alrighty. Actually already had a name chosen, as you can see. Just cutting and pasting from things, and I'll just randomly choose a ship. Ooh, there's a good name. I always put created dates on all my bios, so I know what day I created them. I'll also put the dates that they hit level 50, which is a milestone rank, and it used to be 60, but now 65. So basically the day they start, the day they hit basically the in-game, which is level 50 is when your reputations open up and other things that actually open up for the game, and then of course 65 is the top. So I will engage, and that's about it for this video. I just wanted to do a quick introduction, and I just wanted everyone to see what's going on. So I hope to see you next time.